Hello everyone, welcome to Living Well Together. My name is Nathan and I'm going to do, step back, a mobility routine right now. Now I did actually update the schedule, so you should be able to look at that now and trust that more or less that's what I'm going to be following. Now, as you'll notice, I have evening streams planned every single day, in addition to afternoon streams. This is something new. I'm going to try it out. I might go back to one or the other, depending. It's a lot of streaming, and I have other things to do in life. So we'll see. But I'm going to try it today, see how it works. I have to do various chores and errands, so I'll just see if that's even possible. And definitely that hangout after this session, there's the mindfulness session, and then often I hang out for a little bit. I used to hang out for 2-3 hours. Sometimes I do a little cooking episode. I'll probably shorten that unless I just live stream myself doing random errands, which is kind of what the cooking is. Because once again, I'm away from my house. I'm staying with my parents temporarily, helping them out because they both got injured. They were both hospitalized recently, rib fractures and pelvic fractures. So I'm helping out. I'm doing a lot of food prep, helping them with lunches and dinners. I'm doing errands around the house, taking care of the cats, dealing with the yard work. So it's kind of a lot. And I don't really have all of my stuff in terms of workout equipment, but I do have some bands. I have a mat. And yeah, so bear with me. And yeah, let's get started. So today, actually, one change, since I changed up the schedule, adding these evening streams, I wanted to add a mix of all of the physical fitness streams that I do. So you'll notice I actually added a new one that I hadn't had in there before for flexibility. So I'm going to be doing some dedicated stretching. Anybody out there who wants to get flexible, be able to do the forward folds, the splits, the front split, the middle split, and just get overall body flexibility, you can join me. I'm going to be doing all that stuff for about an hour, 45 minutes or so. And I also wanted to make sure there's an even distribution of each of the physical fitness activities I do in the afternoon and the evening. So if you're someone who can only make it in the afternoon, you can still get a little bit of what I do. And same thing with even the connection series. So that's actually going to happen tonight. The first one since I've kind of resettled here temporarily. And again, connection is about, it's a 1 hour period where I want to bring people together and do generally some sort of connective activity, some sort of authentic relating game. The general gist is just to build connections and build friendships and help people, often like discharge emotions or encourage vulnerability, things like that. So again, that'll be tonight from 8 to 9 p.m. And as well, I'll be doing another physical activity. Now it says strength, but I think I'm gonna just swap it temporarily for a flexibility routine because I feel a little bit sore. The schedule has been reworked. I did a workout yesterday and I want to give my body a little bit of time to rest. So I'll probably swap the strength routine tonight with just a flexibility one. And then of course, after that, there's the connection hour. And then after that, I'll be doing another mindfulness meditation. So with that said, let's begin. njb, you can always get the URL to the video that I'm following just by going to njb.fyi/mobility. I always put it there. And again, I can't play the video for various copyright reasons. I can't just put it in a screen share and have myself in the corner. I can't even just play the sound. So I can only give you the link to the video itself. So go to njb.fyi/mobility if you want to follow along. Otherwise, I'm basically just going to try to do this myself. I'm not going to try to attempt to teach these routines. I don't know them. I'm just following different people on YouTube and such who have different full body mobility routines to keep my body moving, keep it limber. So let me just connect this to my computer. Oh, why does it do that? Also, you'll just please bear with me in terms of, I'm kind of technology limited here. As in, normally I have this whole setup, supercomputer, big old screens. I can see everything. I can see comments. I can see my video. I can see the video that I'm watching. Here, I'm on this tiny laptop. It's just a lot on one screen. So I'll do my best to make sure I see your comments. If you do say something in chat. But again, what? Technology is killing me. Apparently, if Streamlabs is too narrow, it won't even show the chat. So, I'm just gonna have to stretch it wider. Yeah, that's a bummer. All right. This squat position is such a good position to get used to being in. It's a very natural position for humans, although we've kind of forgotten that. Grab this ankle. Oh wait, elbow down. Whoa, timber. Wait for 10, 3, 4. All right. A surprising amount of calf work here. Kind of like rotating them, as opposed to doing one side at a time. Touch your head to the ground. Oh, what? Oh, wow. I'm so far from touching my head to the ground. Oh, I'm gonna try to do that. Maybe I'll do something like on a pillow. Oh, I can't even reach the pillow. Oh, all right. Straddle rotations. This is my warm up. Oh, squat position. Oh, I stretch out my wrists all the time, lady. Wow. One thing she said that I think is so important, she alluded to exploring while you're down here, doing different things. And I think that's so key, and it kind of hits at a larger issue of play in our lives, right? We typically think of play as something that kids do, but I think in reality, there's no limit to play in terms of age, right? Like adults can play. And I think this idea that adults don't play, that some people have, I think really holds them back because play is so critical. It's critical for making things enjoyable, especially something that you may not find particularly enjoyable. such as working out or exercising. Um, and it's play for it's powerful for growth and learning and creativity, right? So that's why if you look at mixed martial arts, for example, it used to be all about sparring and stuff and like trying to do specific things and techniques. Sparring now has evolved in mixed martial arts more to be play like, as in you're not going hard, right? You're just like having fun, you're experimenting, you're trying new things, and it's a lot more fun, a lot less dangerous, and it's actually you learn a lot more. You can experiment with different things and with your body and find out what works for you. So I think this is so critical, and that's what I kind of want this series to evolve into, is like just a chance for people to play, to have fun, not super structured, right? We already have a lot of structure as it is. When I do my workouts, I have like a set list of exercises I want to go through with a particular form that I have to execute them. Same thing with stretching to some extent. There's definitely more wiggle room in there for sure. But generally there's a bunch of stretches I want to do to meet my stretch goals and work my way through progressions. But this mobility time, I definitely wanted to embody play, just kind of experimenting with one's body, moving. And I'm just going to do my own, thing over here. Again, I can't post videos. I can't share the screen video. Maybe a few seconds is fair use, but so it's really just going to be about play. So, if you have this time part of your day and you want to join, and just play, just experiment with your body. Find what works for you in all these different movements. You can pull up your own video, different video, doesn't matter. But this is the time that I'm going to set aside for myself in particular to just explore and get creative. So that was actually the whole routine, definitely on the shorter side, and that's okay. There's a couple things that I also wanted to work on while I'm here. And one of those is my handstand. So as you know, as I mentioned last time, I'm interested in working towards a couple different calisthenics goals. Um, and one of them is the handstand. I also want to do the back lever, the front lever, the V sit, L sit. Um, but in particular, the handstand I think is really powerful because once you become mobile on your hands, it's kind of like learning how to walk again. But instead, you're like also mobile upside down on your hands. It's just kind of fun. You can do cartwheels with more confidence. You can just like move around. That kind of it seems really ideal to me. It's like to unlock the freedom of using my arms. Basically, I mean, ideally, just as well as I can use my legs. Imagine that. Imagine you could walk around with as much comfort or even more comfort with your arms compared to your legs, right? Think how easy it is to walk. Imagine you had that ease. That'd be really cool. It would be so flexible. You could literally fall down at any time. Oops, no big deal. I have another set of legs down there, my new arms. I don't know, it seems kind of cool to me, just having that ability. And of course, your legs are huge, right? These are huge muscles. So to get there with your arms, you have to do a lot of work training the muscles, strengthening the muscles of your back, of your delts, your biceps, triceps. So it was just like a great way to progress your upper body too, if you're looking for a little bit more upper body strength. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to do some progressions. I actually have a list of ideal progressions for this exercise. Pike push-ups, frog stand, pike hold, headstand, handstand against the wall, and then just the handstand. But you can even progress beyond that. You can start doing handstand push-ups, one-arm handstand, a one-arm handstand push-up, and then the hollow back. So I was doing the frog stand the other day. That was pretty good. Um, This is a good one. If you want to start doing a handstand, practice. So again, just something like that. You just hold it. Once you can hold it for 60 seconds, you're ready to move on to the next progression. I mean, you can move on to the next progression before that. In fact, I think maybe even just 20 to 30 seconds, but I'm going to keep doing this until I can do a solid 60 seconds, no sweat. Um, but I'll also be doing the actual wall handstand too that I was doing the other day because that just straight up starts building some of that delt strength that I need. Whereas this, I feel like it's a lot in the hands, the forearms. Now, if you can't do it like this, some people will take a chair. Maybe this is a bit too high. Yeah, this is maybe, I need like a lower chair, but imagine a slightly lower chair or object that you could place behind you that kind of basically already gets you into the position that you want. And then you just don't have to tip as far. Again, you can also put something in front of you, like a stack of pillows or couch cushions. So in case you fall forward, you don't bang your head. And again, if you're going to be doing the handstand, it's so critical to do wrist warm up. So I just did some in the last mobility um, routine that I did by Move's method. But if you're just doing it now and you're like, wait, I want to do this, but I didn't see the mobility routine, just get on your hands and knees like so. Be careful here. Your wrists are pretty delicate. And just kind of lean, explore, and stretch your wrists this way. You can do wrist clocks. Just gonna find the maximum range of motion you can in both directions. You can even stop at any point. Kind of do some circles right there. And I also suggest doing palm up and closing your fist. But again, be very gentle here. You can do a little bit of movement, but it's very easy to strain one's wrist this way. We just want to gently stretch it and strengthen it. While I'm here, I like to do some cat cows. Great for the spine. Okay. So once you've warmed up your wrists, see how long you can do the frog pose. You can get my phone. I'm going to time it. See how long I can do it for. Interesting. What hurts for me more is here. I wasn't tired doing the actual pose. It was like a weird pressure on my muscle here that I wanted to relieve. but that's a good sign. It means like the fundamental aspect of what the frog stand is trying to um, teach and strengthen is not my weak point. Because I mean, normally when we're doing a handstand, I'm not going to have to worry about the pressure on my legs, but I have a lot of body weight that's digging into that point. Try one more time. You know what? Maybe I'll try something like this. A little bit wider so my elbows aren't digging in. Kind of interesting. All right. So next, I'm going to try the wall handstand. Now, my wall is a little bit weird, right? There's like a door here that kind of wiggly, and then I have these like remotes and stuff. I think it's actually better to keep it in so I don't break this little thing. But yeah, how do I bail? Kind of a fundamental question you need to ask yourself when you start doing a handstand. How do I bail safely? And the way that I went up before was backwards. Well, in the sense that I started like this, and I just crawled my way up. But I would like to start practicing my ability to swing up in the way that I would probably traditionally do a handstand, which is that I would go down like this and kick my feet up. But again, I'm like low key nervous. I'm going to hit this thermometer and break it. Is there a better wall? Okay, I can't use this. I'm going to shatter this glass. This is already broken from something. Okay, I'm just going to try it. If it breaks, I'll pay for it. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. So basically, I probably want to get as close as I can to this wall, I imagine. Oh, okay. I'm a little nervous about this wall, honestly. Can I do it here? Oh god, this thing weighs a ton. Yeah. Okay, other than the fact that it's like kind of close to this stuff, it does seem a little bit more of a space for me to use just as a beginning practice spot. There's also a nail on the wall that I want to remove. So I have pliers right now. I got clip. Okay. Let us try this. Just don't fall onto this ancient block. Shoot. Okay. Bring some of this aside. Okay, I feel a lot better about this. Okay, a little bit too fast. As you can tell, this is literally the first time in my life I've ever done this. Okay, getting it. A little bit too hard. Don't crack the ball. I'm gonna try to practice doing that every single day. And while the hold is important, I really want to practice the kick up. Oh man, camera is still pointing down. I don't know if you even saw any of that, but yeah, I'll make it closer for you guys. So my goal is to practice the kick up, and then I think I'll do like a long hold as long as I can a few times at the end to build my delt strength. But I want to practice the motion required to orient myself vertically. And so as you saw the first few times, I got like the motion of my legs and not quite right. I wasn't getting high enough, and then I went too hard. I went really hard against the wall. Now I'm slowly getting it better, but I think that's key because as you transition to being able to do a handstand, for real, you're not going to have a wall. So you need to be able to know the exact amount of force you need to get yourself in that upright position without tumbling forward. So I want to practice that. And I'm going to make it a point to try to practice this every single day, actually. I think that will be good for driving home the skill. basically, the quieter I can get that, to me, is the better indication that I'm kind of hitting that sweet spot. My feet should just barely touch the wall. To me, absolutely no noise, like imperceptible sound, would be basically a perfect score. And a loud thud is, oop, I went a bit too hard, not making it, didn't quite throw my legs up hard enough. Also, I'm noting like using this mat as a guide, I can put my hands in approximately the same spot every time. Because if I put my hands here versus really close, obviously there's going to be a difference. So I'm kind of right now aiming for my palms hit these little this edge of this pattern here. Not bad. Hair's coming apart. Hold on. Whew. Also, I should experiment with different legs as the dominant leg growing up. Right now, I've been kind of defaulting to my left leg, but I do want to try my right leg as well. And of course, eventually both legs. That was pretty quiet. Oops. Let me check the time. Oh, it's 2:02. It's time for our mindfulness sessions. I was having so much fun with this. But I'm actually really happy. I'm really happy with my progress already. It may not seem like much, but I've literally never done that before. Like I've gone on the wall backwards, but I've never really practiced kicking up. Oh, thanks for the follow. Oh, oh wait. Yeah. Wait, it's a robot. Well, guess I get a follow. I'd rather have it be a real person. All right, I'm gonna do my last one before we switch to meditation. Oh, hey, Micah. Yeah, I'm 188 as well. Can you do a handstand? I'm working my way there. I just decided the other day. It seems like a mobility goal I want in my life. So I've been doing the frog stand for a while, just as a recommended activity for working on your like front delt and forearm strength. But this is the first wall handstand from a kick up position. And now I'm going to hold it for as long as I can to build up my front delt strength and do some pulses. That's cool. I might just do that several times a day throughout the day because why not? But that means I need to find a new place for this machine. Oh, wow. Um, this monstrosity. I don't know. Guess I could just leave it there. Probably not in the way too much. Maybe I can move it a little bit. Yeah, they say calisthenics is you have a disadvantage if you're tall. That works for me. But those are like little pulses. But yeah, in terms of being tall, while it may be more difficult in the beginning, I think in the long run it actually helps us because if we learn to do all these difficult exercises that we don't have like as good leverage for as people who are shorter, but if we learn to do them anyways, then we have to be stronger in order to do that, and therefore they give us more benefit in the sense that you look at something like a front lever or back lever. If you're a shorter person, it might require less strength to pull it off. Well, once you finally do that as a tall person, you're able to build more muscle because it requires greater strength proportionally. So in the long run, it may actually benefit us. Too many chairs. But yeah, so let's transition to mindfulness meditation. Do I even need a shower? Like, kind of, but not really. I'm happy to just start. Tonight is going to be a connection episode. It'd be really cool if you could show up for that, but I know you got a interesting schedule, so all good if you can't. But that's one I would really like to get people involved in as well because it's such a powerful connective activity. Lego connected, yeah. It's where I do any of a number of authentic relating games or other activities that are just designed to build connections between people on a deeper level, right? We all have friends, right? We all have different people we know, acquaintances, but how deep do you know these people? And if you could, wouldn't you want a nice, deep, meaningful relationship with each of them? Well, the activities I'm going to be doing will help us do just that. And to some extent, they also can provide some sort of uh, path for emotional release and discharge and healing within oneself. Um, so tonight, I think I'll just do the kind of typical heart share activity, which is where people get, anywhere like 5 to 10 minutes to talk, and everyone else just listens attentively. And people are supposed to talk about their feelings, um, less about their thoughts and stuff like that, more about how they feel. And others listen. It totally does. That's a good idea. And when I hold a heart share in the future for people to come in real life, I'm totally going to have a little bit of food and beverages, starting with banana bread, banana pumpkin bread, actually. Um, so yeah, today's the first day where I'm going to be doing kind of a dual segmented live stream where I have this afternoon segment. I'm going to take a break, probably do all my like errands and prep work, and then come back at 7, I believe, and do another couple hours of live streaming. Yeah. Except tonight it won't be strength, it'll be flexibility since I need a little bit of a rest day. Well, I don't know. We'll see how I feel then. All right. So I'm going to do another half hour. Beginner meditation. Welcome to stay or go. But if you're going to stick around, find a comfortable position, alert and upright posture, and close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. All right. Thanks for stopping by. I'll catch you later. Now I want you to focus your attention, the spotlight of your awareness, onto your breath, wherever it's most prominent for you. Actually, I just remembered this habit I want to start getting into. Is ending the stream and starting it up again so that there's clean segments between the meditation and the workout. So when people want to just watch the workout, they can easily do that. If they don't want to watch the meditation, they don't have to go to the workout video and go halfway or try to find the exact stopping point. So I'm just going to end it and restart it real quick. I think there's only bots here, so no harm.